My hero. I step out of the arching hearth into the parlor of an expansive Parisian apartment. I walk across the marble floor, past the polished furnishings, and out onto the balcony, where I get a perfect view of the Eiffel Tower, alight and flashing with brilliance in the foggy night sky. It's beautiful, I say. An elegant woman with silvery hair offers me her dazzling smile. I know I've seen her somewhere before, but I don't think it was ever in person. She says, "Nina, come here. You've got to see this view." I notice more movement inside. My wife and my mother are in the kitchen making gingerbread houses. Noah is on the floor beside the tree playing with a train set with his infant sister. Jen and Tom sit together in a love seat by the fire. As strange as this new circumstance is, what catches my attention the most is the man approaching from the hall. A teenage girl follows in his wake, and the two of them join us on the balcony. "Oh my God," I say. "My thoughts exactly," the man says, pushing his long, curly hair away from his face. He gazes at me with casual familiarity. Pulling the woman and the girl close to himself, he wistfully takes in the scenery. "Thank you for inviting us, Paul. Such a brilliant idea to spend Christmas in the City of Lights. I don't know why we've never done this before." A pair of arms wrap around me from behind. Amaya runs her fingers through my hair and teasingly replies, "It was my idea." I whisper to my wife, tripping over my words, That's Weird Al." She kisses me on the cheek, and as nonchalantly as can be, she says, "Yeah, I know." Do I call him Mr. Yankovic or just Al, Paul? Joining Suzanne and Nina at the rail, Amaya gives space for the king of comedy music and I to share a private moment together. The only problem is I'm totally tongue-tied. Al seems to notice my apprehension. "Don't worry," he says. "We can have that jam session after Chris gets here with his family." "Chris?" I repeat. "And his family?" "Yeah, he should be here soon, unless they cancel his new flight, too." Al laughs. "Don't worry. I'm sure everything's going to work out. It's going to be the best Christmas ever." Noah calls to me from the living room. "Daddy, can I open my presents?" The suggestion excites Nina, who grins at her father. "You said we could open one present on Christmas Eve." Affecting his on-stage persona, Al's eyes bug and his nostrils flare as he says, "I did? Well, then I guess we better just open just one present then. I think it should be one of mine." Nina doesn't think it's as funny as I do. We gather around the Christmas tree, and Amaya clears a place for me beside Al. My mother winks at me and holds up a Santa hat. She asks, "Do you want to hand out the gifts this year?" I glance at my hero. "Do you want to? Would you like me to?" "Yes. It would be a dream come true if you'd be Santa Claus for my kids." Smiling pleasantly, Al says, "Well, how can I say no to that?" My mother hands the hat to him. He places it on his head and digs under the tree for the first gift. "It looks like this one is for Wendy." While Noah helps his baby sister unwrap her present, I ask Amaya, "When is Chris going to be here?" "Soon, honey. Don't worry about it." "When?" My mother hands another gift to our Santa, shushing me and saying, "Soon." Al examines a dog-eared shoebox. "This one says it's for you, Paul, but it says you shouldn't open it until Christmas." Nicholas steps in between my outstretched hands and the package. Somehow, I hadn't noticed he'd been missing.
"I think I found the fifth door, but we have to go now."
Al sits beside me and places the gift into my lap. "Come on, Paul, open it." Nicholas stares at me in annoyance while I untie the shoestring, holding the box closed.
You aren't thinking about staying here, are you?
I rest the package on my knees and look around at the friendly faces smiling back at me. I can't imagine a more perfect place to be. Jen and Tom speak almost in unison, agreeing with my sentiment. Amaya squeezes Wendy just a little tighter. My mother beams at Noah. Suzanne tousles Nina's hair. And the greatest role model I ever had puts his arm around me, saying, "Merry Christmas."
None of this is real.
I shrug off Nicholas's warning and open my gift. It's a Sega Genesis, just like the one I wasn't allowed to keep as a child. Al asks, "Do you like it?" I stammer. He leans back into the arm of the chair, his face slowly changing. He says, "It's from me, son." His features morph until he no longer resembles Weird Al Yankovic and has become Daryl Squall, my estranged father. Suzanne is gone, replaced by the stepmother I've barely even met. Their kids, the twins, have taken Nina's place, but since I don't know what my half-siblings look like, they appear as faceless abominations. The featureless twins grasp at me. "Hey, that's a pretty great gift. Will you give it to us in exchange?" Looking down at my lap, I see that they aren't reaching for the video game console. They want the snow globe I'm carrying in my suit jacket pocket. No, this is mine. "You want to change things, don't you?" one of the twins says. The other gets up on her knees and lurches toward me. "You have to give something up to do it." Nicholas takes hold of my shoulder.
"Let's go."
"You aren't leaving so soon, are you?" my father asks, offering me a beer.
"Can't I have a drink with my son?"
Pushing the beverage out of his hand and letting the gift fall to the floor, I follow Nicholas to the fireplace. We spring from the chimney and land on a rooftop in what appears to be Victorian England. On the ground below, a crowd of men in top hats and women in bonnets make their way through the cold. Nicholas scratches at his beard.
"No, this isn't right."
I glance at my phone. It says it's Sunday, December 24th, 1843. 23:59:58. We're running out of time.
"Okay,"
says Nicholas, pointing toward the brightest star.
"I think the door is that way."
A cluster of glowing orbs arch high overhead. They hang a moment and then turn and spread across the sky. I watch them, captivated. With blue flames tailing behind them, they streak downward in different directions.
"I think that's incoming,"
Nicholas says, and then he repeats himself directly to me and more emphatically.
"Yes, that's definitely incoming."
One of the orbs gains in size and speed as it streaks toward us.
"Go, Paul! Move!"
The orbs crash into the scenery all around us, destroying the buildings and fiery detonations. We leap to the next roof as the house we were standing on explodes. We rush to the edge of the next building, but Nicholas skids to a stop. The roof shakes beneath our feet as something large approaches us from behind. An enormous, shadowy creature rises from the flames. The smoking scales covering its scorched body smolder like fiery coals. Horns rise from the exoskeleton encasing its growling snout. Jagged teeth jut outward into sharp arcs, and bloody talons curl toward us. The beast spreads its blistering wings, causing whirlwinds of fire to swirl up into the night sky. Nicholas shouts, "Run!" I take a running start and leap. I feel the wake of the brute pulsate overhead, and when I land falling onto my hands and knees, it changes directions, lifting skyward. It flies high before twisting its body and plummeting directly at me.
"Get up!"
I try to build traction and make it over the peak of the roof, but my feet slip on the ice. The fiend puts its snarling head down, going into a free fall. Nicholas grabs my collar and pulls, trying to tug me up the steep incline. I look over the edge, debating whether the fall would kill me or just break my legs. I can feel its breath getting hot and sticky on my reddening skin as it plummets ever closer. A blur, and the beast is knocked back, giving us just enough space to roll onto our stomachs and climb. Nicholas and I slide down the other side of the peaked roof. The sky fills once again with glowing orbs. We drop, crashing through the roof of a barn and landing in the hayloft. Nicholas finds a ladder and we climb to the ground.
Can you ride?
I follow Nicholas's eyes and am amazed to find 2 horse-sized reindeer, saddled as though they were waiting for us. Moments later, we burst through the barn doors, racing down the dark and twisting street on our speeding mounts. The orbs strike, and buildings all around us erupt in flame. The creature crashes down in front of us. An angel with 1 wing stands on its belly, brandishing a sword which throbs with power. His sandy skin is luminescent as he strikes the beast. Nicholas shouts,
"This way, Paul!"
He pulls on his reins, turning his reindeer toward a Gothic cathedral.
"We have to hurry!"
It seems the city is breaking apart as we ride the final stretch. The angel is flung past us, hitting the stone wall of the church and falling limply to the ground. The monstrosity lands with an ear-piercing howl. The door lies just beyond the beast. Before I can plan my route, it storms at us, swinging its tail like a cat of 9 tails. It roars as it slashes. Its talons hiss as they tear into my reindeer, knocking me to the street. It consumes the animal with 2 bone-crunching bites. Its tail rattles past, missing me by inches. Nicholas dives off his terrified reindeer as it thrashes and bucks. I raise my arm, shielding my face from the heat coming off the beast's body, as I hurl myself at Nicholas and help him to his feet. The malevolent thing draws back on its hind quarters. The face of the cathedral begins to break apart, tumbling into pieces. Spinning, the beast's tail becomes a blur. Nicholas and I leap. He clears the jagged appendage, but I can't get high enough. My feet are taken out from under me, and I face-plant hard on the ground.
"Come on, Paul, get up!"
Stampeding to my feet as orbs detonate all around us, I follow Nicholas up the stone steps. I can't catch my breath, and my heart feels like it's about to explode. My body is ready to quit as we throw ourselves at the doorway of the crumbling cathedral. A wooden staircase unwinds before us. We have nowhere else to go but up. "Shit, Nicholas. Of all the nightmares," I wheeze. "Why did it have to be stairs?" Nicholas pulls a torch from a sconce and hands it to me.
"Go, and don't look back,"
he implores. "Not without you." He nudges me toward the stairs.
"Do you want to die? Go! I'll be right behind you."
Gargoyles fall as the beast batters the outside walls. The tower shifts and the ground splinters and cracks. I leap to clear each step before it snaps and plunges to the stone far below. I cradle the snow globe inside my jacket, feeling the water slosh against my chest. The walls shudder, and I hear a cave-in below. I don't stop to look. I climb until I arrive at a trap door, which I throw open and pull myself through. It isn't until I'm lying on the ground of the bell tower that I notice her. She fires off another volley of glowing orbs just before she turns to confront me. Tugging at her yellow hijab, the Chechen sniper glares at me with piercing eyes. She laughs wickedly and allows herself to fall from the tower. Transforming into a second beast, she flaps her massive wings and swoops away. I'm panting as I stare out after her. The tower must be 500 feet above a dark wood that stretches as far as I can see. Above, the sky is filled with astrological bodies and colorful nebulas. This is where both beasts are now, flying in circles and looking down on me. The angel soars amongst them, spiraling because of his missing wing. In turns, he slashes at them with his blade. The trap door slams shut.
"I need a quick answer from you,"
Nicholas says, staring down over the edge.
Do you think you're worth saving?
The glowing orbs the sniper fired before she transformed circle back, heading rapidly toward the base of the tower. I'm not. Nicholas's eyes fill with fury.
Then why am I risking everything to save you?
Thinking about what I've witnessed tonight, my whole life reenacted before my eyes, I answer him the only way I can. Honestly, I don't know. The first beast locks in battle with the one-winged angel. The other is coming for us. Nicholas grabs my shoulders, getting into my face.
You honestly believe you're unredeemable?
You've seen my life, I say. What do you think? Cyclones of flame belch up along the tower walls as the orbs begin to strike. Taking my hand, Nicholas says,
I think you need faith.
Faith? Nicholas plunges his toes over the edge.
Jump.
The fire burns so hot I can smell my hair begin singeing. The beast lowers its head and beats its wings. The floor lurches as the stones beneath us crumble away. We jump.